Welcome back, everyone. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the South Indian style or the Dravida style of temple architecture. Till now, we have been moving around the North Indian style and the Nagara style, and we saw the evolution and the different variations from the regionals variations we saw, and what were the different terms used for the same aspect or the same feature. So today we are going to discuss about the Dravida style of temple architecture. Before we begin, I would like to introduce to South India. So the southern part of India, which includes the Indian states of Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Telangana, as well as the union territories of Lakshadweep and Puducherry, is known as South India. So South India is bordered on the east by the Bay of Bengal, on the west by the Arabian Sea, and on the south by the Indian Ocean, with the mountain ranges, the western and the eastern Ghats, flanking the plateau heartland. The geography of the region is diversified. And the non-perennial water resources include the Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Tungabhadra, Periyar River, Bharatapuja River, Thamirabaran River, Pallar, and Vaigai rivers. So during the ancient times, this region or the peninsular region of India was often referred to as Dakshin or Dakshinapatha, and it was the first time the Dakshinapatha term was given by Panini in 500 BCE. Now we come to the development of the forms of the Dravida temple of architecture. So the long historical evolution was under the patronage of the following dynasties, and with the upcoming of the Pallava dynasty from 275 CE, we see the upcoming of the rock cut architecture, which has already been covered in the rock cut temple architecture in the introduction classes. So I will not be discussing about the rock cut architecture here, but with the upcoming of the Pallava in the region of Tamil Nadu or the South India, we get the examples of the earliest temples or the Dravida style of temples in South India. And from the Pallava dynasty, Mahendra Varman I was the person who initiated or started the idea of building of the Dravida style of temple architecture in South India. For the dynastic history, I will be providing with references and books. So the dynasty which were patronizing the Dravida style of temple architecture are the Pallava dynasty. Then we have the Cholas, the Cheras, the Vijayanagar Empire with the Pandyas, and after that we see the small or the slowly decline of the Dravida temple architecture. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss about only the features of the Dravida style and how to identify whether this is a Dravidian temple or it is a North Indian or a Nagara style of temple. So the main feature of this temple is of the Gopurams. Now, like we have read about the Toranas in the Nagara style, the Toranas were the decorated gateways. In the South Indian context, we see the large, well decorated and ornated Gopurams, and these are very, very high in the height, and they are hugely decorated with niches, with having gods and goddesses, with plants and animals, with other semi-gods and semi-divine deities. So these are largely decorated Gopurams. So the first feature, that how will you identify whether this is Nagara style or this is a Dravida style? So the first feature to identify Dravida style is that of the presence of a Gopuram. So when we see a temple or the South Indian temple, so the superstructure which was called a Shikhara in the North India, now here it is called a Viman. Now Viman means a vehicle or which can fly. So this is the superstructure is regarded as a Viman, and it has diminishing stories, and these are called Prastara. Now, when you see the temple from below, we have been discussing about the plinth. In the North Indian context, it was called Adhishtan, sometimes Pishta, sometimes Jagati, and sometimes it was called Mahapishta. When we focus on the South Indian style, there under the Adhishtan, there is a small or a sub base which is called Upa-pitha, and upon it stands the Jagati, the plinth or the main Adhishtan over it. Now, the Vimana or the superstructure consists of shalas and kutas, which are small niches of different shapes. With the images of the gods and goddesses, and which makes up the hara or the parapet region. Now, the temple or the body of the temple, it is called Koshtha, like in the previous region, or the Nagara style, it was called the Gandi or the Jangha region. Now, this area of the body, it is called the Pada. When we were saying or talking about the Mandapa or the assembly hall, it is called the Koshtha region. Now, the body of the temple is highly decorated with many of the decorative motifs like the Makar Torana. The Torana, these are the beautiful arched designs we see. Now, we see many friezes, decorative friezes. We see the Kapota. We see many mythical animals coming into existence. Then the other part is that the Vimana is often crowned with a stupi and a barrel vault. Now, there are speculations that how this barrel vault was actually crowned onto this temple, because the barrel vault or the Ghanta region or the Griva region was the last thing to be added to the temple. So there are speculations and ideas that there were different methods of putting that barrel vault or that heavy stone. So that is a very interesting topic to be talked on. So, since now the barrel vault is there and it is situated or it is crowned with the stupi or the finial, which is also quite prevalent in the Nagara style, like we have the kalash and inside we have the small stupis. Now, here is also the stupi is there. And the different, also the other feature of the South Indian temple architecture is that of a presence of a boundary wall, which we get to see only few examples in the Nagara style, and that too in the beginning of the style of temple architecture. In the later periods, we do not get the presence of the boundaries. But when we shift our focus towards South India, we see that the temples are always given, or it consists of a boundary wall which is called Prakara, and these boundary walls also have rooms for people to do their offer their offerings, or to live, or to have prayers, and or to perform something for the deity. So these were the features of the parts of the South Indian temple architecture. So as I said, I will be providing more references for the temple architecture in the South Indian context for sites like Mahabalipuram, Thanjavur, Aihole, Pattadakal, and you will get to know a lot from the references. And if you've come up with any doubts, I am always here to help you. Thank you.